We've just received a wave of brand new details on the upcoming open-world zombie survival game Ardem, and the more this project evolves, the more it feels like something genuinely different in a genre that has been stuck repeating the same ideas for years. This isn't just another survival sandbox trying to copy what already works. From everything the developers have been showing, from their constant updates to the new gameplay systems and environmental details, Ardem looks like it's trying to build a much more immersive and grounded survival experience where every decision matters and where the world itself becomes the main challenge. One of the biggest new features revealed is the game's approach to loot and death, and it immediately shows how serious the team is about immersion. In most survival games, when you die, your items simply sit where you fell, waiting for you to return and pick them up. Ardem does something very different. If your character dies from a zombie infection, your body doesn't just stay there. Your corpse actually turns into a zombie, meaning your loot is now moving around the world. You are forced to hunt down your former self to recover what you lost. That changes the entire risk structure of survival. Instead of a predictable recovery system, players are under pressure. The longer you wait, the further that zombie may wander, especially if other players create noise or attract attention nearby. Your gear can literally disappear into the world if you're not careful. And if you see a zombie carrying a heavy backpack or equipped with weapons, there's a real chance that used to be another player. It creates tension, unpredictability, and a much stronger sense of consequence than traditional survival mechanics. But what makes Ardem interesting is that this system is only one piece of a much larger design philosophy. The developers clearly want the world to feel alive, reactive, and constantly evolving based on player actions. Survival isn't treated like a checklist of mechanics. It's treated like a lived experience where the world continues moving, whether you're ready or not. Another major feature that stands out is the ability to actually live inside your RV, and this isn't just transportation or a fast travel mechanic. The RV acts as a mobile home where players manage their supplies, store equipment, rest, and survive while traveling across the world. It essentially becomes your base, your shelter, and your lifeline in a dangerous environment. That design choice completely changes how players interact with the world. Instead of building static bases and staying in one area, you're constantly moving, constantly adapting, and constantly deciding where to go next. It creates a sense of journey rather than routine. Your survival depends on where you park, how safe your surroundings are, and how prepared you are for what's outside. This mobile living system also strengthens the emotional connection players develop with their equipment and progress. You're maintaining a physical space that represents your survival. That level of immersion is something many survival games promise but rarely deliver. The world itself also appears to be a major focus. From the trailers and development updates, environments are designed with heavy attention to detail. Abandoned towns, scattered buildings, interiors filled with environmental storytelling, and locations that look like they existed before the outbreak all contribute to a world that feels believable. Nothing looks like empty space built just to fill a map. This kind of environmental design matters because exploration is the core of any open-world survival game. If the world feels authentic, players naturally want to explore it. The small details, lighting inside buildings, how objects are placed, how environments show signs of past life, all help create immersion that keeps players engaged beyond simple resource gathering. The developers also appear focused on organic exploration rather than forced objectives. The world is meant to pull players naturally through curiosity and survival needs rather than scripted mission structures. You explore because you need supplies, because you hear something in the distance, or because a location looks worth investigating. That approach makes the experience feel more personal and unpredictable. What's also encouraging is how consistently the development team communicates progress. They regularly share updates explaining design decisions, improvements, and new features being tested. Their approach feels transparent and structured, showing actual work rather than vague promises. In a genre filled with unfinished projects and abandoned early access games, that level of communication builds trust. The team also emphasizes realism and polish in their development goals. They're not rushing features just to market the game. Their focus appears to be on making systems believable and interconnected. The survival mechanics, the world design, the player progression, and the environmental systems all seem built to support a cohesive experience rather than isolated gameplay features. From what we've seen, Ardem also puts heavy emphasis on atmosphere and pacing. Movement feels deliberate, exploration looks slower and more careful. Encounters appear tense rather than chaotic. The tone suggests a survival experience built around tension and vulnerability rather than constant action. That direction makes the world feel more dangerous and meaningful. The game also appears to include strong environmental interaction where the world responds to player presence, noise, and movement. Zombies react to sound, situations evolve dynamically, and player decisions can create consequences that ripple across the environment. This kind of reactive design supports emergent gameplay, situations that happen naturally rather than being scripted. Another important aspect is how the developers continue improving the game based on feedback. They've been actively refining systems, adding new features, and adjusting mechanics to make the experience more polished. That ongoing iteration shows long-term commitment rather than a quick release strategy. The zombie survival genre has been saturated for years with similar mechanics and predictable systems. Many games promise realism but fall back on familiar formulas. Ardem looks like it's genuinely trying to rethink how survival works by focusing on player experience, world interaction, and meaningful consequences. If the game successfully delivers on what it's building, it could push the genre forward. A survival world where death changes the environment, where players live inside their vehicles, where exploration feels meaningful, and where the world constantly evolves based on player behavior would represent a significant step beyond traditional survival design. But at the same time, caution is still important. Ambition in survival games is common. Execution is rare. Building a realistic open world with complex systems requires strong technical performance, consistent updates, and long-term support. The ideas are promising, but success depends entirely on how well the team delivers the final experience. Still, the direction is undeniably interesting. The level of detail, the focus on immersion, and the steady communication from the developers suggest a project driven by clear vision rather than trend chasing. It looks like a game built by a team that understands what makes survival experiences engaging: tension, unpredictability, and a world that feels alive. A game where survival isn't just a mechanic but a constant lived experience shaped by the player and the world around them. That alone makes it one of the most fascinating upcoming projects in the open world survival space right now, and definitely one to watch closely as development continues. What also needs to be said about Ardem is how grounded the entire survival loop feels when you actually see it in motion. This isn't a game that throws you into chaos immediately, it lets you exist in the world. The RV isn't just a moving storage box or a gimmick for fast travel, it's a living space. You can walk inside it, organize your supplies, rest, cook, craft, and even reposition furniture depending on how you want to function on the road. That small detail alone changes the tone of the experience. Instead of feeling like a drifter constantly running from danger, you feel like someone building a fragile sense of home in a collapsing world. For more on Ardem, drop a like on the video and subscribe to stay tuned.